Hi, I'm Liam, and today we are doing a tarot reading for our earth signs for the month of March. It's a pick a card reading, so there'll be 3 piles, and that's for our earth signs, so Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. And you can, let me show you the decks, and then you can pick one if you would like. We're using sea glass, and I should have used sea glass on the water sign reading for sure. So that was a missed opportunity. So maybe next month. So the True Heart Tarot deck is a piece of clear sea glass. The Thoth Tarot deck is a piece of brown sea glass. Collected all the sea glass is collected from a beach in Maine. I think most of it's probably from Owl's Head, or did we find some at Popham Beach? Maybe Popham Beach, but a lot of it was from Owl's Head in Maine, the United States. Waite, green sea glass. So you can pause here and pick a number, or you can just watch the whole thing and see what resonates. So yeah, let's get into it for our earth signs. This is a little late because it's the 1st of March when I'm putting this out. But February was a bit of a slog, to be honest with you. I don't feel like it just was like long. It's a long month. But the days are getting longer, and so it's sunnier, and that feels nice. And it's bringing some warm weather, which feels nice. And plants are starting to wake up. Spring is just barely starting to spring, so that's really nice. Okay. That's way too many. Okay, let's do them one at a time. There are messages for our earth signs for the month of March 2026. Earth signs, month of March 2026. Okay, I think that's enough cards. Let's go from here. Okay, we have the Empress. We have the King of Discs, Pentacles. Princess of Cups, the Prince of Discs or Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. I feel like this is urging you to, there definitely feels like a stepping into your like feminine power, your creative energy, your artistic expression, and kind of asking you to I feel like usually with the King of Pentacles, this is like giving off a little bit of a different vibe in this deck. Give me a little bit of, is there some clarity here for our Earth signs for the month of March? Yeah, it just feels kind of confusing to have the king and then the prince of the same suit a little bit, because I'm like, it sort of feels like maybe it's a little bit of like asking you to step into these more like powerful energies of the Empress and the King of Discs. These more like I want to say like more finished, or maybe more complete, or just like a more embodied version of yourself, even though you maybe are currently feeling it. So it sort of feels like an interesting juxtaposition, and then the Prince and Princess of Cups and Pentacles is here as well. So it's sort of feeling like you should act like you feel this way, even though you're really only at like this stage in the process, you know? So yeah, it's sort of feeling like a little bit of like a fake it till you make it situation with this reading for you. Like, yeah, I think there's like some it's not feeling super clear. Let me just see. I don't really do this. Let me just see if I can get any clarification words from a different deck, just to see. Do you have any clarity, any additional insights for this group for the month of March? Any additional clarity, any insights? Okay, so the card that first popped out, I think that's our clarity, is the Five of Wands. And what strikes me about this card is they're not actually hitting each other, so it sort of feels like competing, or like vying for ideas, or like trying to be heard in kind of like a sea of other noise going on. So I think in relation to these cards, yeah, I think it's sort of like you're being pulled in all these different directions. You have this idea of yourself and who you are and who you want to become, and maybe that's not actually who you are showing up as in each moment. So there's kind of like this little bit of like separation or confusion between these different parts of you. And I think with this reading, it's asking you to maybe take some ownership of that for the month of March, and accept where you are, and know that where you want to be sitting more consistently in these spots comes through moving through these energies, right? And so that could be, I think maybe there's could be some gratitude for where you are, for your, with the cups, that could be like your emotional experience, your intuitive gifts, your personal relationships. I think with the Prince of Discs, that could be like your relationship to your body, your relationship to resources. Yeah, so there's this sort of like, um, yeah, it's not super clear. We also have the Two of Wands in there, which does sort of feel like you're holding all these, all these, why does that feel so difficult to move my finger the opposite way? You're holding these possibilities, and you're overseeing them. And you are, in a way, or you are like a powerful actor in your reality, right? You're the creator, and I think it's well within your power to move through these states and become the Empress and the King of Pentacles sitting on your throne. I think that comes through kind of stopping this fight, or like not resisting it. I think it's like going through something instead of trying to like will your way out of it. I think there is an acceptance that needs to be had here, of accepting where you're at in this moment and just really surrendering, I guess, is maybe what I want to say. So yeah, that feels a little bit tricky and not exactly clear. But hopefully that's helpful to some of you who picked that pile. All right. Earth signs. All right, we're gonna go with the Thoth deck. A message for our Earth signs for the month of March 2026. Can we get a message for our Earth signs for the month of March 2026? Can we get a message for our Earth signs for the month of March 2026? All these. Okay. Any additional messages for our Earth signs? Let's see. Any additional messages for our Earth signs for the month of 2020, March 2026? Oh goodness. Somehow all my cards are flipping the wrong direction. Any additional messages? I'm struggling with the shuffle lately. I'm not sure why. All my cards are like, they're like a little sticky sometimes. Let's do another proper shuffle. All right. We have the Five of Wands. It's a strife. We have the Lovers. Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, which is strength in this deck. Oh, the Nine of Pentacles is gain. And the Four of... No, never mind. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Sorry. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the Five of Wands, that was not the card we just had. Yeah. That was the card we just had in the last reading, which is like maybe it kind of feels like it's like too many competing ideas in this sense. This also says strife on this card. So I think there's just maybe some mental anguish regarding which way to move forward. And here it's telling you, these cards are telling you that with the way forward as the Lovers and the Nine of Discs with the Nine of Wands. Maybe 9 is a synchronicity for you also. The way forward for you, I don't necessarily think it's it could be committing to a partnership, but I think it could also be just opening yourself up to the possibility of love, and it doesn't have to be in a romantic partnership. It could be a friendship partnership, or a friendship, not a friendship partnership, just a friendship. Yeah, and with the Nine of Pentacles, I think there's this sense of earth signs. I'm struggling a little bit today to like make sense of these. It's feeling a little bit tricky. There seems to be like, I mean, I guess honestly this could kind of just be like the feeling that I'm in right now, where there's feeling like this like stagnancy, this sort of like trudging upstream sort of sensation. There's a lot of like, yeah, there's a lot of heaviness. I wouldn't say like each moment of each day feels heavy, but like if I reflect on a whole period of time, it's feeling quite heavy. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of really horrible, atrocious things happening. And so, yeah, it's not, it's hard to feel connected to, like, for me personally in this moment, it's hard for me to feel connected to like God or source or the universe, or you know, the all or whatever. I don't know what the word, I don't have a specific word I prefer to use. Magic, I guess. The connection to magic has felt like a little bit it's funny because I know like mentally that it's like all around, you know, and it's always there and ever present sort of thing, but it has been feeling harder to like move into that space. So I feel like with this reading I'm finding that it's feeling a little bit tricky to like move into that the open space, and that could be what this group is feeling as well, is that there's just kind of like, there's some stuckness, you know, there's like the sensation of like, oh, these like good things, the Lovers and the Nine of Pentacles, these good things are right around the corner, these exciting things, or these things I've been asking for are right around the corner, but then you're kind of like trudging through the Nine of Wands, which calls for, this card specifically calls for strength. And, you know, you're doing all the strength training, you're doing all the work, you're, you know, committing to your daily practice, you're doing, you know, whatever the thing is. And it's still feeling difficult, you know, it's still feeling a little up in the air. And I think, especially with this Wheel of Fortune card, like, it does sort of feel all up in the air. It doesn't feel like things have necessarily landed yet. And it feels tricky because, like, on some level, it's like, how do I like move, or I don't want to like be in this identity of someone who's like always waiting or always assuming this next big thing is around the corner. But then it just feels tricky to be in presence and be in awareness and like, yeah, there's just feels like there's something missing lately. And I think maybe you're feeling that too with this deck, with this reading. I mean, this pile number 2. So yeah, you're definitely not alone in that. If I'm gathering that this is sort of for me, in that it's just like, yeah, there's just a lot going on, and it feels difficult, honestly. And for the month, can we get an advice card or something? This one? Queen of Wands with an advice card. She looks pretty intimidating though. She's like got her hand on her cheetah. I don't know what that's supposed to be. All up in flames. Maybe we need to burn a little brighter from the month of March. Maybe that's the advice. Start more things on fire and burn a little brighter. All right, we'll go with that. Pile 2. Okay, cool. Let's do, this is the deck I read with the most often, so hopefully it will be the most clear. Let's shuffle these. Any additional messages for our Earth signs for the month of March 2026? Additional messages for our Earth signs for the month of March 2026. Any additional messages for our Earth signs for the month of March 2026? We'll have one card out. And get some more cards. Let's see. Okay. I shouldn't hum a song because that's not allowed on here. Okay. We will just go with these 4 cards. Interesting. The Empress again. Temperance. The Empress. The Nine of Cups. The Sun. And Temperance. What's the bottom of the deck? Ace of Swords. The Empress again. Yeah. So this one seems a little bit smoother sailing than the last one. Yeah, definitely feels like stepping into you're harnessing some of your creative energy, some of your creative expression. The Empress could also be fertility. It's feeling very like going into the woods and having a spiritual experience there is what that's feeling like to me today. And then with our Nine of Cups, he's like displaying his wares. He's like, look at me and all my cups. And just like super proud of himself. So I think that could be not overcoming, but like moving through an intense emotional experience. And you're kind of on the other side of it. You've kind of gone through this process, and you've are coming out the other end feeling satisfied and proud of who you've become. I think kind of with all these cards, it's sort of like March for you, you're really like coming into you're kind of on the other side of that last energy where it was like you feel like something big is coming, or you're stepping into something different. And this for this group, it feels like you have stepped into that. For March, you've stepped into this this flow, really. The Sun is just like a very powerful, like things are moving really well for you. Spring is springing in real life, and spring is springing in your reality. The seeds you've planted are coming into fruition. Things you've been manifesting are going to happen. The things you've been working towards over the last few months are showing up. And there is still a need to be patient and let things flow, let things come to you. Don't force it. I also think a lot of these are asking you to spend some time outside, be in nature, maybe go volunteer and clean up a river, or go be outside and tend to some plants, or some life in the land you live on or around you. Any additional messages for this group for the month of March? Any additional messages? Oh, I forgot to bring in. Okay, I'll have to do that next time. I have like an animal oracle deck. I wanted to start pulling like a little spirit animal card for each group, but I will have to remember and get to that next time. All right, I think that's all there is for everybody. As all the cards have to say for this moment in time. Yeah, I hope you guys have a decent March, Earth signs. Take care of yourself. Do things that bring you joy. Get outside. Pursue something that interests you. Start a new hobby or restart a hobby. And yeah, to really take care of yourself. And that means getting offline, sticking your nose in a book, watching favorite shows, reading favorite books. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea for me too. And yeah, anything else? If you want to book a reading with me, if you're interested in that, you can go to my website on here, or you can message me on Instagram. My profile is in the description. And let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see from me. Cool. All right. Have a great day.